A former Washington, D.C. police officer is waiting to be sentenced for selling firearms without a license. Richard Wintz pleaded guilty. You can see him here walking into court today. Drew Griffin has more now on his story.
He sold them out of his car in parking lots near his home in Chesterfield, Virginia, and to just about anyone who would answer his online gun posts and show up with cash. Richard Wintz, 51, now an ex-D.C. police officer, admits selling up to 24 guns for profit.
Can I ask you about the whole gun sale?
Federal prosecutors say Wintz was an unlicensed gun dealer, selling pistols, rifles, even an AK-47 to buyers responding to his online ads. His ads ran on armslist.com and the Virginia Gun Trader. Wintz told federal agents on one site he had 1,300 postings. There is no record that anyone who bought a gun from Richard Wintz went through a background check. There is evidence his guns ended up in the hands of a convicted felon, people banned from owning guns, and in one case used in a murder. His case highlights how easy it is to advertise guns online and sell to people prohibited from buying them. Thomas Chittum is special agent in charge for the ATF's Washington, D.C. office.
Well, listen, people that know they can't buy firearms and want a firearm anyways generally don't go into gun stores and try to buy them.
Private gun sales require zero paperwork. But according to the law, anyone who makes a profit through the repetitive purchase and resale of firearms is supposed to be a federally registered firearms dealer. Richard Wintz pretended his gun selling was just a hobby, according to court records. He didn't ask if his buyers were felons, drug dealers, mentally unstable, or somehow banned from possessing firearms. He just asked for cash. Peter Newsham, the police chief for Washington, D.C., says his former officer certainly knew the law and chose to break it.
How disappointing was that?
It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing for us to have a member of this agency out there illegally selling firearms. At the end of the day, people are dying because of this.
Along with one of his guns being traced to a murder and a convicted felon, prosecutors say Wintz sold an AK-47 to a mentally troubled former U.S. Marine reservist who was prohibited from owning a weapon and used the gun Wintz sold him to commit suicide. Though some states require additional steps to sell private guns, the federal law, says ATF's Thomas Chittum, is so vague it actually benefits both seller and buyer to know as little as possible about each other.
There's no record-keeping requirement at all on an unlicensed person.
Despite selling an unknown number of guns and selling guns used in murder, suicide, and other crimes, prosecutors are recommending former D.C. police officer Richard Wintz be sentenced to just 12 to 18 months in prison.
Our thanks to Drew Griffin for that report.